When we think of growth, we think of big leaps and we think of big steps and big gestures, right? We think that everything big because society has told us literally, if we gonna do it, we need to do it big then, right? But growth, y'all, it usually doesn't look dramatic. Most of the time, it's found in the things that we do. Literally, it's found in the things that we do every day, the things that we typically overlook, the things that we typically think that does not matter, right? The things that we do over and over again, the repetitive, the quiet, and even the boring choices that we make, the routines that nobody sees us doing, the habits that don't feel powerful in the moment, right? All those little things is shaping us and is cultivating us. And Galatians 6:9 reminds us, let us not become weary in good doing. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Oh, that's beautiful. Let us not grow weary in the good doing. Let us not grow weary in the small steps, right? So even in the small things that we do each and every day, right? Even in the things that is so repetitive, the things that feel boring, the things that don't excite us are actually working for our good. That's what I love about life. What I start to even just think about when I think about the small steps and how the small steps cultivated me and helped me to become the woman that I am today. It was just showing up in a small step, showing up for myself. Getting up out of bed was a small step for me, right? Making my bed was another step. Brushing my teeth, it's in a small step. Showing up for my children, being there for them, right? There were small steps that helped me become the woman that I am today. So if you started, for instance, if you started setting your alarm 15 minutes earlier so you're not rushing every morning, that matters. You probably was a person that is never on time, or you a hard worker and every ounce of sleep matters to you and you always hitting that snooze button, but you have became intentional about your time, right? And so you have intentionally started setting your alarm possibly earlier, so that way you don't have to rush, right? You don't have to leave stuff behind or whatever it may be in the midst of your rushing, but you taking that small step. And yes, that small step matters. And maybe you used to be late all the time and now you showing up on time. Maybe you were somebody that was never an on time person. You never showed up on time. When people said something, they say, oh, she or he gonna be 5 or 10 minutes late, right? But in this season, you decide to be more intentional and you decided to correct some things that no longer serve you. So instead of you being late, you're showing up on time, and that matters. You may be learning how to be slow to speak, right? Instead of reacting. You may be somebody that's known to be a clapback person, somebody that's not finna take nobody talking mess to them, ain't finna take nobody talking sideways to them, and you're going to defend yourself. Somebody say something to you, you ain't finna let it go. You got to let your point be known. But you might say in this season, and you might be saying, I'm going to work on that in this season because I know that it's not holy, and I know that that's not bring honor to me, that person, or God when I snap back, and when I react. So in this season, you might have decided to pause and to think before you open your mouth, to pause and to think before you react, right? And that matters. You might be deciding to choose better habits even when no one sees it. That matters. You know what your life is like behind the scene. You know what you do, how you act, how you behave, where you go when nobody's looking at you. But you might have decided those things no longer serve me. I don't find fulfillment in those things no more. I want to cultivate a new habit. I want to do something different in my life. And so don't discount the small steps, right? Don't discount the small things, because in due time, you will reap from it. It's something that you will gain from it. You might not see it right now because it's repetitive and it's boring, and you might not be getting applause. You might not be getting a recognition from it, or you might be feeling like, what is this for? What is this for? Why am I doing it? But let me tell you something about God. He rewards the faithful. He rewards the little things that we find is nothing, right? That we find, it's just boring. I don't want to do it, but I'm choosing to do it. Don't disqualify yourself, right? Give yourself some credit and give yourself some grace, that in those little steps, it matters. It matters. Trust me, it matters. And those little steps will eventually build momentum to bigger things, right? But start in a little, right? Small steps don't feel powerful in the moment, but they compound, they build momentum, and they grow into something more bigger and something more sustainable and something more beautiful. What feels boring now is building discipline. So what you doing in a small, what you doing when nobody is seeing you, what you feel is like repetitive and it goes over and over again, trust me, it's building discipline in you. And it's all working for your good. So what feels small now is creating stability for you as well. So what you're doing now is creating stability. You creating a foundation for your future self, right? And not only that, you creating a character that can be trusted in the small things. You can be able to say, I did that. Even when nobody was looking, I did that when I didn't even feel like it. I did that when I felt like it didn't even matter, but I did it. And so I want you to realize, and I want you to know that even in the small steps that is working for you, even when nobody is looking, even when it feels boring, even when you probably asking yourself, what is this for? I don't see how this is going to pay out. Trust me, what Galatians said, that when you do good, do not grow weary in it, because sometimes we get tired, right? We get frustrated. The endurance, the perseverance, all that begins to mount, right? But it's a proper time. It's going to be a proper time that you're going to reap a harvest for the things that you do if you do not give up. And this don't have to be anything physical. It can be spiritual. Just like you can build a capacity of discipline, a capacity of stability. All these things show up in a different way for everybody. But it's in the small steps. It's what you do now. You have to realize that's working for you. So continue those new habits. Continue that new routine. Continue to walk that thing out no matter how small it is. And just trust that God will reward you. And not only that, you will become a different person, right? You will become a different person because you did not give up. Even though it was repetitive. Even though it didn't seem like nothing was changing. It's changing and it's working for your good. I am Lachelle Monroe. I hope this message blesses you and keep you. Be sure to like and subscribe and share these videos with others who may need it. And always remember, when you can't trace God's hand, you can always trust his heart. I love y'all. Until next time, y'all, please keep the faith.